Hello everybody and welcome to a new video where we are going to take a look at the gaming performance of the DELL XPS 9510 with the i7 1180 11800H Tiger Lake CPU paired with the RTX 3050 Ti, and we are playing Battlefield 1 at full HD, and we're gonna use the ultra settings. So yeah, let's see how well this laptop actually runs games and if this laptop will display any throttling behavior, because this is what plagued all the older models of the DELL XPS lineup, and I would be fairly surprised if this one actually fixed these problems. But yeah, let's give it a chance, and right off the start you can see that the CPU as well as the GPU are hitting fairly high wattages, and as I am speaking right now, you can see the wattage of the CPU is dropping significantly and is now only at 13.7 watts, which is way too low to create a smooth frame time graph, as you can see on the bottom. So even though we are seeing still quite decent FPS, this laptop does not provide a completely smooth gameplay experience right now, obviously because the CPU simply cannot keep up with the RTX 3050 Ti, even at ultra settings. So yeah, it's creeping back up to 21 watts right now, and now it is absolutely fine. We're at 2.5 GHz, so the base clock speeds of the CPU again, so we are not seeing any throttling anymore. But it actually just sucks. I mean, this is such a typical DELL XPS behavior, and they have not been able to fix this since they actually released these machines. They have not been able to find a middle ground between good performance and not running your system into an area where it's getting so hot that the CPU has to throttle down so much that you're actually only getting ultrabook performance or Intel U CPU performance. And I mean, it's doing it again. It's beneath 20 watts right now, so 15 watts. I mean, this literally is the specified TDP for a U CPU. So this is absolutely horrible if you're playing with an 8-core 11th gen CPU. I mean, in all fairness, thanks to the fact that the Intel CPUs by now are actually this powerful, you still are able to keep playing the games without extreme or severe lags, at least here in Battlefield 1. I guess it's a different story in Battlefield 2042. I mean, if you had one of the older models and your CPU would be dropping down to 15 watts, or at least in a title like Battlefield, where you only get like 1.7 GHz or 1.6 GHz on your CPU anymore, which would quite frequently happen on the XPS 9570 with the i7 8750H from 2018, which is a 6-core Skylake based CPU. Yeah, you would have, I mean, look at this 1.35 GHz. This is just absolutely disgusting. And obviously this machine has never been marketed as gaming machine, but I guess a lot of students who are looking for a thin and light laptop which should provide them with decent specs like this one, will provide them with decent performance like this one, because you're actually having a dedicated NVIDIA RTX GPU. You actually do have an 8-core Intel CPU in here, so what you should get is a perfectly playable experience in basically any title you throw at it, even if it's not running at the wattages that big and chunky gaming laptops will provide. Which obviously isn't what we're expecting, but what you would expect is simply a stable performance behavior, and you never get this. I mean, this is completely stock, so I don't know. It is what it is. You see for yourself how well it runs, and obviously there will be titles, I guess, like maybe Apex Legends, where you won't be affected this much by a 13 watt 8 core CPU with 1.4 GHz clock speeds, because it simply isn't as CPU intensive as this one is. But yeah, I mean, this is still horrible, and nobody should buy this machine, I guess, if they're planning on doing some intensive gaming on it. And I actually played around with it and decided to limit the CPU speeds down to the base clock, which is the 2.5 GHz. But this only provides a temporary solution to this problem, because you will see that you probably be fine for 5 minutes in this game, and afterwards it will still go and throttle down the CPU again. I mean, not as hard as it does here, because it simply goes up to 30 watts again and then drops down to these 13-15 watts. So yeah, you're gonna notice these frame drops a lot more, but it's still pretty disappointing by DELL. And obviously not only by DELL, but also by a lot of, at least I guess, probably all the big laptop reviewers who are looking at these machines and just stating blandly that this is a gaming capable machine, because they have never played a game long enough for it to throttle. Because, I don't know, I guess if you're playing this Battlefield, you would only need 2 to 5 minutes, or I don't know how long how long it took our machine to throttle down. And I guess I should remind you guys that the ambient temperature here actually is around 20 degrees, so it's a fairly cool room that I have this machine in. It's not overly hot in here. So if this laptop throttles, it is obviously because the cooling solution is simply not enough to keep up with these high performance components, and it's definitely not because it's too hot in here. But yeah, you can see how well it runs. You can see that I guess you can play games, and I guess I wouldn't mind playing games like these on the side if it was only for, I guess, a short period of time, because I do have my big desktop gaming computer at home and I just need something to play games when out and about on the go and somewhere else. But yeah, do not play or do not buy this machine if you intend to play intensive games on it and actually enjoy them. I mean, you can see that we are probably dropping around half of our FPS, if not more, once the CPU starts to throttle down. We're going down from 90 FPS, from 80 to 90 FPS to 40 FPS. And this is just bad. But yeah, that's it for the video. This has not been the most pleasant experience, and I was really hoping they fixed these issues, since you cannot undervolt these new CPUs anymore or any longer, at least not with what you, at least not if you do not do some stuff to your laptop that normal users simply cannot be asked to do. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. Play games on this laptop if you really have to, but don't buy these laptops to play games. Bye.